So what does barrier mean? Barrier means anything that stops in our body. So here mechanical barrier means in our body what physical structure, physically what are the structures that we have in our body that stops the pathogen to enter our body. The first action that we can take is to stop the pathogen to enter our body, right? After that, even we fail to do it, the pathogens enter our body, then we can kill it. But before killing it, we must stop it to enter our body. These are the mechanical barriers, the structures in our body that stop the pathogens to enter our body. First one, for example, see what is given. The nostrils contain hairs. So the hairs that we have in our nostrils. What are nostrils? Do you know that? What are nostrils? Tell me. It's a very basic question.
Our nose consists of some small hair. Those are known as nostrils.
Yes, the small hairs that we have in our nose. Nostril doesn't mean that. Nostril means
They
just, yes. Tell
they
it.
actually block the all the microorganisms that are trying to get into our lungs through the nose passage. So
Yes.
they kind of
So
they block it.
when we, yes, very good. So when we breathe in the air, we also breathe in the dust and dirt particles and all these things enter our body. Okay, when we are breathing in the air. So, and the dirt and dust particles contain pathogens or microorganisms. Okay, so that those dirt and dust particles cannot enter our body, cannot go to the lungs and block it. If the dirt and dust particles will also enter our body through the nostrils, so what will happen? They will directly go to the lungs and they will block the passage. If the passage is blocked, we will
Yes.
not be able to breathe in the air,
And there is a
right?
problem of breathing.
Yes, we will die. So that those dirt and dust particles that also contain pathogens or harmful microorganisms, so that they cannot reach, they cannot enter our body, they are stopped at the nostrils. How? You will see that there are hairs in our nostrils. Those hairs, what is their function? What is their job? They just stop the dirt and dust particles, and as they stop the dirt and dust particles to enter our body, automatically the pathogens also get trapped here there. It's a net like
Yes.
structure. So when the dirt and dust particles get trapped in our nostrils and they cannot enter our body, the pathogens also get are stopped there.
Mm.
They also
Are
can't enter our
blocked
body.
there.
So there we are not secreting any chemical like mucus or HCl. Are we secreting any chemical?
Mm.
No.
No,
But
ma'am.
at the
No.
same time, this is a physical structure. Just we are having here that is stopping the dirt and dust particles along with the pathogens to enter our body. It's a physical structure. That is a barrier. That is a barrier for the pathogens that stops the pathogens to enter our body. Okay. So this is why these are called the mechanical barriers. Similarly, you have seen chemical barriers like mucus. Mucus is a very slimy and sticky
ACL.
structure that do not let HCl is there that will kill the pathogens if it reaches the
Yes.
reaches the stomach,
Stomach.
right? Yes. So these are
Yes,
the
ma'am.
few. So now you understand what are chemical barriers?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Understand.
Okay. So today we will start. Today we will start with this part. The food
Food
hygiene.
Ma'am, one
hygiene.
time go
Good
to
food
chemical
hygiene
barrier.
makes it
I have a question.
yes. Tell it. What question you
Ma'am,
have?
you can give one time that pain of sun.
Pain option. Okay. Yes. I have enabled it.
Well, yes, from this in to here. Is it can that line I can't understand.
Okay.
Why?
In the respiratory passage, cilia then sweep the mucus back up to the throat where it can be swallowed. Swallow means what? So there are two ways that we can eat anything. First we chew it, then we swallow it, right? First we chew anything
Yes.
Mm.
with the help of our teeth, and then we swallow
Mm.
it. Swallow it means what? Swallow it means pushing the food, the half digested food through our throat, right? So that
Yes.
is called swallowing. Okay, Rupanjan. So the
Yes.
mucus is very sticky and slimy. So, and this is why we can swallow it very easily, right? So it will directly, so we don't need to drink water to swallow it. Some foods are there that are very hard, and we need to swallow it with the help of the water, right? Like medicines that we
Like
Yes.
swallow.
medicine.
If we take some medicine, yes, we need to drink water with it, only then we are able to swallow it. But as mucus
Yeah.
itself, it is very slimy and sticky. It doesn't need anything, water or anything, to swallow it. We can when the pathogen is trapped inside the mucus, we can swallow it directly, and it will directly go to the it will pass through our digestive system. It will go to our stomach, and the HCl will kill it. Okay, is it clear now?
Kill the pathogen.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what type of food hygiene we should maintain? Good food hygiene makes it much less likely
Yes.
that someone eating the food you have prepared will get ill. So the first thing, as I'm again and again telling it, the first thing that we should do, see, precaution is better than prevention. Have you heard this phrase before? Precaution is better
What,
than
ma'am? You tell
prevention.
again.
Precaution is better than prevention. What is precaution? Precaution means the steps that we can take so that we do not get the disease. Okay. So what is precaution in this
Yes,
COVID
ma'am.
situation? We use mask, we wear mask, we use the sanitizers, we keep
Yes.
safe distance.
Sanitizer.
These are the precautions. These are
Yes.
the precautions so that we don't get the disease. But what if we have already got the disease? Then comes prevention. Prevention means starting the treatment, eating the medicine,
Yes.
or eating healthy
Eating.
having healthy diet, healthy food. Okay, so precaution
And
is
for
better
corona,
than prevention.
antibodies.
Yes, so first of all, we will try so that the pathogens will not enter our body. For that, maintaining a good hygiene is the best way, so that the pathogens cannot enter our body. The first thing that is given written here, the first topic is food hygiene. So that through the food, you have seen before that foodborne disease, waterborne diseases are also there. So that the food that we are preparing for someone else, that cannot get contaminated with pathogens, for that we must maintain the food hygiene. A few simple
Yes.
rules can prevent you or anyone else eating food you have prepared from getting food poisoning. So, have any one of you heard the term food poisoning?
Yes,
Food
ma'am.
poisoning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
happens when
Yes,
it
ma'am.
happens when we eat like a contaminated or infested food item.
Yes,
Mainly
contaminated
the
food
Open
item
air
means,
food
mainly the street foods like
or
like pani
junk
puri
food.
and
Yes.
chaat papri, like that things. They're
yes,
normally
when,
Junk
infested
food
by
or
bugs.
fast food.
yes, when we eat too much of junk food, or when we eat the food that is contaminated, as Shagni said, contaminated means that contains pathogens that will cause the disease. Or
Yes.
when we eat some
Why?
spoiled
Mainly
food.
viruses or bacteria.
By mistake, sometimes we eat spoiled foods, right? And why do those foods
Yes.
get spoiled? Who spoils the food? The microorganism spoils the food, right? So when we will eat any
Yes,
Present in
spoiled
the
ma'am.
food,
air.
the microorganisms or the disease causing microorganisms will also enter
Yes.
our body. That will cause
Yes.
food poisoning. Can anyone tell me some symptoms of food poisoning?
Vomiting,
Some,
Ye-
yes,
Vomiting.
um, sick
Pain
fever,
in the belly.
Yes.
stomach pain,
Pain.
vomiting,
Yes.
nausea. Yes, these are some
stomach
Yes.
ache.
common symptoms.
What is
Stomach ache.
nausea?
Nausea means you will feel that you want to vomit, but you are not able to vomit. That is the feeling, and
Yes.
it also comes along with dizziness, headache, and all these are the common symptoms of food poisoning. Okay, so what we can do to avoid this food poisoning? We should keep our own bacteria and viruses away from food. So we don't know
We should cover the food.
we should cover the food, as well as when we are handling any food or we are preparing any food, we should also cover some parts of our body, like hands or
bodies,
Yes.
like
legs,
hairs,
Hairs.
and our clothes also,
yes. And we should also here you can see wear particular uniform, so that the dress or the clothes that we have in which we have came to the kitchen or to the kitchen area, that kitchen area should also not get contaminated. So we must wear some apron or some uniforms that are available in the industrial kitchens. And we should always cover the clothes and hair. We should never cough and sneeze
We
over
should
the
wear
food.
masks.
Yes.
You must. So
In food.
sometimes you will see that in some shop or anywhere else, if people are just carrying the food from one place to another and sneezes on it, that is very bad, because who will eat that food, he will also get contaminated. Okay, so we should not do
Yes.
it. Keep animals away from the food. Okay, animals are even more likely to have harmful bacteria on them. And so
Yes.
we should keep the animals, if we have any pet in our home, so we should always keep them away from the food at least. Some are particularly dangerous. Some animals like house flies, they are very much dangerous, because
some
when
what?
they will go to the house flies. So I have told you
Yes,
about
they
pet
will
animals.
sit in dirty
Now
place and come to our food.
and now we have came to the house flies. Now house flies, they will sit on the garbages. Okay, and all the dirty places that they will find, they will sit on there, they will find their food, they will eat their food, and again they will come back, they will walk on the rubbishes and feces or dead animals. Okay, and then they will enter your home. If your food is not covered, it is uncovered, it is you keep it open on the table, then the same house fly
They will sit
that
there.
has sat, yes, that has sat on the that has walked on the rubbish, feces, dead animals, they will sit on your food.
They
And
will
what
leave
will
the
happen?
bacteria.
You can
Yes.
imagine, they will leave the bacteria, they will contaminate your food, and you will not you cannot even understand that what you are eating. You will just eat the
Indirect.
food, and you will also have the
Yes,
symptoms of food
indirect
poisoning.
contact.
Not,
Do not
not
keep the food
indirect,
that,
direct.
no, this is indirect. Why this is indirect? Because there is a carrier, there
Because
is a vector.
yes.
The housefly is the
Yes,
carrier.
yes.
Okay, it is not
Yes, ma'am.
happening direct from
Carrying
one
the
person to
pathogens.
another. The house flies are carrying the pathogens. Third point is, do not keep the foods at room temperature for long periods of time. Why? So this a chart is given here, not chart, a picture is given here that will explain you better why we
How
should
the
not keep the
temperature.
food, why we should
How
not keep the
temperature
food.
affect bacteria.
Yes. So at room temperature, we should not keep the food for a long period of time. Here you can see that the maximum bacterial growth can be seen at a temperature between 10 degree to 48 degree centigrade. So during the summer days, the temperature here or even during the winters, the room temperature is generally between 10 to 48 degree centigrade, right? So this is why
Yes, ma'am.
we refrigerate the food. Why? Because at you can see at the freezer temperature minus 12 degree centigrade. Here you can see
Yes, ma'am. Till.
this one.
Yes,
At
ma'am.
minus
Freeze
12
at 20.
at minus 12 degree centigrade temperature, though the bacteria will not be killed, but the bacteria cannot reproduce. Okay, it cannot grow. So if only one
Yes.
bacteria is there, it will remain one. It will never become 2 to
One.
4 to 8. Okay,
Two, two or three.
it cannot reproduce. So in
Spread.
refrigerator, and this is why it is also said we should not eat refrigerated food also for a long time, right? We should not keep it in
Yes.
refrigerator for 3 to 4 days and then we should eat it. At least for 1 to 2 days it should be kept there, not more than that. So in refrigerator,
Yes.
in the normal refrigerator temperature, you can see 4 degrees centigrade. So these are the temperatures that stop the pathogen, that stop the bacteria to replicate, to multiply by number. But it will not kill the bacteria. The only way to kill the bacteria is to boil it with water, or at high temperature. It is to treat it with high temperature. Okay, you can see
Cooking in
here,
high temperature.
most of the bacteria are killed at this temperature when we boil it in with
100
water.
degrees
100
Celsius.
5
degrees
degrees centigrade.
Celsius.
Boiling water, yes.
Most of them are killed. Okay, and at 100 degree centigrade temperature, the bacteria will be killed. But the spores in the bacteria, what are the spores? Spores are the genetic
Small holes.
material, not holes. The genetic materials of the bacteria are kept in spores. Okay, so even
Oh,
if the bacteria is killed, but the spore is alive, later in future, the spore can produce a new bacteria. Okay, so at 100 degree centigrade temperature, the bacteria will be killed, but the spores will not be killed. To
Not
kill
good.
the bacterial spores, we must treat it at 120 degree centigrade temperature.
120 degrees centigrade.
Then
That is,
within 15 minutes, the spores is also killed.
spores will be killed.
DNA
So
also be
pressure
damaged.
cooker. If we cook, this is why it is always said that we should cook the food at in pressure cooker, right? Because in the pressure
Yes.
cooker, the temperature is 120 degrees centigrade. That will not only kill the bacteria, it will also kill the bacterial spores.
Spores.
And
Sports.
if
Yes.
we boil the water, then at 100 degree centigrade temperature, the bacteria will be killed and the spores
But
will
spore
not
will
be
be
killed.
not killed.
Will not
Spores
kill.
will not kill. And the best temperature for the bacteria to grow, that is the room temperature and body temperature. See,
Yes.
this is why
37 degrees centigrade and 20 degrees centigrade.
20 degrees centigrade. This is
Yes.
why if we keep the food at room temperature for a long period of time, after few days it will get spoiled because bacteria will grow best in that temperature. Similarly,
Breed there.
if we refrigerate the food, then what will happen? Though the bacteria will not be killed, but its growth, its reproduction
It will
process,
not grow.
it will be stopped. Yes, it will not grow, it will not reproduce. Okay, but the bacteria will not be killed. Is it clear to you? These are the temperatures.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
From
ma'am.
Ma'am, I have one question. Ma'am, why
this
in
particular
room
box,
temperature? Ma'am, why in room temperature the bacteria grow more?
that is the okay, you have in the enzyme chapter, you have learned about optimum temperature, optimum
Yes.
pH,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So
Yes,
for
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
any particular structure, there is some optimum temperature at which it works best. So for bacteria, it is seen that the temperature between 10 to
75
48
degree.
degrees centigrade, this is the best temperature for the growth of the bacteria. Okay.
Okay.
So from this particular box, so many questions generally come. Okay, so you can
Yes,
even mark
ma'am.
it as very important. Okay, and read this box
Obviously.
and keep it in mind, because the questions
Yes.
will not come in this structure, come as this structure or like this. Many different types of questions will come that we will discuss after completing the chapter. Okay, but keep it in mind. Just read this box and just
Yes.
memorize it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. And
Okay,
there
ma'am.
will be homework.
Yes, there will
Yes.
be homework. You see these questions 10.1, 10.2, 10.3.
Yes.
These are,
These are
I hope
easy
you all can.
questions.
I have already asked you these questions today. What
Yes.
is a
These
Yes.
pathogen? List three
Pathogens
Ma'am,
diseases
you
is the
have
caused by
learned
a
the
pathogen.
pathogen,
microorganism
ma'am.
that cause disease.
Describe
Yes.
3 ways in which pathogens can be transmitted from one person to another. So here, 3 ways you will have
I
to
can
write.
tell.
One is,
We can
tell
tell.
it, Abu Sahid.
Ma'am, number one, a bacteria is called AIDS. It can be transmitted one person to another. Like if any infected person blood comes out into contact any uninfected person, so so he may become infected.
He may become
And-
infected. Okay. Always
number
tell it
two,
AIDS. Okay, not AIDS. AIDS. Can you tell me the
Okay,
virus
okay.
that causes AIDS? The name of the virus that causes AIDS?
Yes. HVI.
No,
Yes.
Yes.
not correct.
HIV.
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 Human
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 immunodeficiency.
immunodeficiency virus.
Deficiency virus.
Okay, okay, okay.
Easy.
Okay, that's
Deficiency.
Not
so
disease,
these three
virus.
These three only.
See, for AIDS, it will be disease. And for HIV, it will be virus. Okay, it will end with virus and AIDS will end with disease.
Disease.
Okay, so 10.1,
Okay.
10.2 and 10.3. These are the three questions that you should write. Tomorrow I will tell you to show your copy in front of the camera. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
all of you should write it.
Okay, ma'am.
Question number 4 and 5 we will discuss tomorrow. After that, we will start the next topic.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Got it.
So